Hey, Molly here, and I wanted to do a video for you now on the qualities and the traits of the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So if you have these energies prominent in your astrology chart, then these are going to be energies that you want to be aware of in yourself, about how you navigate through life, how you operate, what is right for you, what is correct for you, as well as some things to be aware of in how your energy might come across to others and how you can raise your consciousness around your own needs. So the fixed signs are important to note because they follow the cardinal signs and they are about solidifying the energy of a season. So just as Aries season begins the zodiac, then Taurus season comes in and grounds it. Leo season is often about the very middle of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. Then we have Scorpio energy, which is about the intensity of transformation in the autumn when the leaves fall and they are transmuting themselves into the earth and into the dirt. Then we have the Aquarius energy, which is often in the heart of winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. And it's when things can be more crystallized and intense. So the fixed signs are about when the weather is often the most stable and reliable for each of the four seasons. And this is important to note because this helps the archetypes come alive, where the fixed signs are about consistency, reliability, what you can count on, what you need regularly, what is something that stabilizes your energy. And understanding this will make some things clearer around how you move through life and how you understand what you need, as well as how you show up. So you are the energies of perseverance, sticking with something until it's done, ensuring that something gets completed, and consistently showing up. And that's part of what you look for in yourself. Perhaps you hold yourself to high standards around that, around how you're consistent, how you're reliable for others. And that's something that others begin to note about you, and they depend on you in some manner. Because as a fixed energy, you're very good with routines and patterns. You're really good with understanding what needs to be carried out and where the follow through is essential. So these are your strengths, and it's really good to know that because you might notice that other people depend on you for these exact qualities. Now, I'm going to say a word here that you might just have an allergic reaction to, and that word is compromise. Did you start breaking out in hives? Did you have like that allergic reaction? Compromise is not something that you seek. And let me explain that. Because your energy is very much all or nothing. I'm in it. Yes, I'm doing this. No, not interested. I'm not doing it. All of your energy travels with you in a very holistic way where you're like, I'm right here. I'm 100% focused on this. Your energy isn't easily dispersed. And for you, that could feel like a weakness where you have to split your energy or you have to do something that isn't basically all of your focus, all of your investment. So that word compromise, and I really hope you're not getting allergic hives right now, but compromise is not always something you seek or want. You want something to be maybe all your way or the highway. You want it to be very clear. You don't want the energy to be split. And that's simply because for you, it's about stability, right? It's about this is how I operate. This is how I show up. This is where all my energy is. Now, this could be hard for other people to understand because the fixed signs aren't designed to be in multiple places at once in that way. You're not designed to essentially split your energy. So you're going to need to have very good communication skills that explain to people why you're choosing something, why you want this, why you're doing this, why you're going this way, and why there's times when you're not wanting or able to compromise, or where if you do need to compromise, you do so with a willingness that doesn't develop into resentment or anything negative. So it's important to note that your energy doesn't naturally seek out the compromise. Your energy seeks out how to do something all together, like how to stabilize it and solidify it and focus on a particular outcome, project, whatever it might be. So keep that in mind, that when other people ask you to do something or want you to participate, you could have a very clear yes or no. It even reminds me of maybe when you were in school, when you were younger, there were perhaps certain topics that you were all about. You're like, I love geography, or I love history. And then there's things that you're like, I hate going to science class. I don't want to do algebra. Your energy can be very all or nothing. So this could be something that you've learned about yourself. Maybe it's something that you're working with, but just note this because it could help explain some things, especially when it comes to relationships or things at work. Now, because your energy is very much about what is reliable, you might resist change. You might not be the one who wants to change things up or do it differently until you're ready, until your energy is on board, until you're a full yes. Maybe you need time to think it through. Then you're like, yeah, I can do that. I want to do that. I'm ready. But you can't be budged. The fixed signs, again, the compromise doesn't quite work and the budging doesn't work. Again, you're on your own process, your own timeline, because oftentimes you're looking at where can my energy travel together? Where am I all in or all out? And this can make you very decisive, very clear in your needs and how you live your life. Sometimes this can also make you predictable. Like people know, okay, they're gonna say yes or they're gonna say no. Maybe they have an idea of how you do life, especially like say your family or people who have known you a long time. They understand, maybe what you're into and what you're not into. Because the fixed signs can have a lot of passion. When you're all into something, you're very passionate about it, you're invested, it's something that you personally identify with. Now, part of that energy to be aware of is that the fixed signs, because you like consistency, reliability, you want things to be known, you probably don't always want surprises, you don't want to be blindsided. The other modalities can handle it. The cardinal signs, the mutable signs, they can handle change, new things, surprises, but you probably don't want surprises because you want to know what you can count on. So if you know someone who has a lot of fixed signs, for example, in their chart, they want a heads up. They want to know what's coming, even what can be expected. That just helps the energy, again, feel like you know what to rely on. With fixed signs, you also want to be very aware of your attachments. And that's because it goes back to this whole consistency thing where you're like, this is what I do. This is how I live my life. This is where I live. This is what I want. Like, again, very clear. Your energy can be so clear. And you can also develop attachments to how you live your life. And those can be wonderful, healthy attachments, or they can be addictions or things that don't really serve you anymore that you're not changing. Because that fixed sign will run in a loop. It has a habit of running in a loop because that is what's known, right? That's a consistent pattern. You want to look at your attachment, what you get attached to, if it's serving you, if it's right for you, and then of course assess, okay, can I move this to a new area of expression or something else that might be healthier? So that's also important to note here because what you need is something solid and reliable. And again, that's what makes your world known. And the more fixed energies you have in your chart, the more these themes are going to be bigger for you. So if you have only one fixed sign or just two fixed signs, it's going to be different than if you have 3, 4, 5, 6 fixed energies, okay? So the intensity does increase. But this is where it's really good to know yourself and how you operate. Really good to understand what your energy needs, what you seek out, and essentially how you create your life. How you create a life that works for you. Now, one other thing to note here is that because your energy is all in or all out, and you're not always seeking compromise, that you could have some unconscious expectations of other people fitting into your world, fitting into how you do things, fitting into your life. This can show up in your personal world. This can show up at work, where you have your own things that you take care of and you want other people to adapt to you. So just assess that for yourself. Are those part of your expectations? Is that part of what you're looking for? Because that way you're not changing. You don't want to change unless you choose it. If you choose the change, then you're ready. You want it. Let's go, right? But if you don't choose it, you could expect other people to adapt to you, to your life, to your habits, to even at work, like your processes. So just be aware of that, because it's something that you can look at in hindsight and see if that's played out well for you, if that works for you, or if it's something that you need to maybe communicate or let people know about. So the fixed signs, you're very reliable. You're very much the ones who can be counted on. You have a lot of strength, a lot of fortitude. You're able to keep going and get things done. I mean, you are the ones who can take something forward with determination. So I hope that helps understand more of your energy, as well as some things to be aware of in terms of how your energy may come across to others or what they're experiencing. So please check out my other videos where I discuss more of these traits of the cardinal signs and the mutable signs, and hopefully these give you more insights into your own energy and into how you show up in the world.